Good morning, Mets fans, and welcome to the start of a new week. It is Monday, and this is Driving with Mr. Met. I am Mr. Met, and it's been a couple of days since I've been back. Has anything happened since then? Last Thursday was the last thing I recorded, and things have not gone well since. A couple of losses, that'd be 6 in a row, a swept homestand, an 0-6 homestand, and more questions than answers, unfortunately, after this weekend. But fear not, ever the optimist. I believe that things will be fine, and I'm going to talk about that today. Also, did something else happen? Was there a player that's not on the team anymore? I'm going to touch on the Matt Harvey situation as well on today's Driving. Over the last couple of weeks, I've exhaustively talked about what was going on with Matt Harvey and how I felt about it, and as of Friday afternoon, and then officially on Saturday morning, the Mets no longer have Matt Harvey on their roster. Matt Harvey is no longer a New York Met, and the divorce was ugly, but and really the last couple of years have been ugly. But there's sort of two sides to this story, and ironically, I guess the whole two-faced thing that a lot of people like to throw out there about Harvey comes into play. But the side that I want to think about is the side that makes me smile. You can choose as a Mets fan, as a fan of any sport, any team, any athlete, to nitpick the small stuff, the bad stuff. Focus on that. Focus on the negativity. I don't like that. I've never adhered to that. I don't choose to do that. I try to find the positives in everything. And if it's not really that hard to find positives about Matt Harvey, when you talk about a guy who in 2015 pitched his heart out. That's the Matt Harvey that I want to remember. I want to remember the Matt Harvey who was pumped up with that beard on the mound, with the blue jersey that I have in my closet that I don't know that I can ever wear it again. I do have kind of a policy where I don't wear jerseys for players that are not on the team anymore until they retire or until they come back, like was the case with Reyes. So I have my Murph jersey hanging up in my office. I have my Bartolo Colon jersey hanging up in my office also. I got 3 Matt Harvey jerseys, though, and I'm not quite sure what to do with them. I swear I'm not crying. I wasn't crying. I didn't pause it for that reason. I am really emotional about this, though. I'm going to miss Matt Harvey. I'm always going to remember him fondly. I'm going to choose to ignore the parts of the career with the Mets that were damaged by the injuries that he suffered because he threw his heart out for this team. So I'm going to remember Matt Harvey fondly. I'm going to miss Harvey days. I'm going to miss wearing the Matt Harvey shirt and jersey and etc. But he's gone. And unfortunately, this team is better with him gone. He and his 7 ERA this season was replaced on the roster, as irony would have it, with Hansel Robles, who makes the team better by his presence when you compare his performance to Matt Harvey's. Of course, Robles yesterday in the first game he gets into gives up a home run, and of course he did his Sabu point to the sky. But I don't want to dwell too much more on the Matt Harvey situation. I'm going to close the book on that today. Wishing him the very best and hoping that somewhere someone takes a chance on him and that he's able to do something with the rest of his career, because he's a young guy. He's not even 30 yet, and he does deserve a second chance with another organization. He's had enough second chances with the Mets. I think the split up there is the right move, but I believe that he deserves a chance to try to reclaim some semblance of a career for himself with another franchise. So good luck, Godspeed, Matt Harvey. As for the Mets themselves, things haven't gone a whole hell of a lot better for the team. Again, I mentioned an 0-6 homestand, getting not only swept but positively trounced by the Atlanta Braves, who look to be really, really, really good right now. I keep trying to remind myself that it's early still, that the book isn't out on these young kids yet. You know, this Albies, Ozzie Albies and Ronald Acuna Jr. and the other youngsters that the Braves keep throwing up there. The book will get out on these guys, and Major League pitching will adjust to them. And I've mentioned this before. It's the question then becomes, will they adjust to the adjustments? And that's baseball. I mean, that's in a nutshell. That's baseball, and it's making adjustments constantly to keep yourself one step ahead of the competition, whether you're a pitcher or a batter. But my point to that is, although the Braves did outscore the Mets by 26-2, a 24-run differential, I do feel like the Braves are overperforming right now, and I still do believe the Mets are underperforming right now. You can look at statistics and look at what guys are doing and not doing, and there's every reason to believe that Jay Bruce will snap out of this funk. We know Michael Conforto will. So it's easy to panic. The Mets start the season 11-1. Since they go 4-12, or no, sorry, 6 and 14. That's right. My bad. Switched my numbers. 6 and 14. So they're sitting at 17 and 15 right now. They're still 2 games above 500, but man, it seems like 2 different seasons. It seems like that 11-1 start, that 12-2 stretch where they were in first place and just not losing. It seemed like that was a completely different time. There was a feeling like we were never going to lose, and now it feels like we're never going to win. So that's baseball. It's ebbs and flows. It's ups and downs. You cannot panic right now, because if you weren't celebrating World Series victory 2 weeks ago when the Mets were 10 games and 11 games over 500, you can't celebrate or you can't freak out that the season's over right now. You can't. You just can't. The season doesn't end after the first week of May. There's an awful lot of baseball to be played. And the same reason that you can count the Washington Nationals out after their poor performance. The Nationals are trending upwards, the Mets are trending downwards right now. But again, ebbs and flows, ups and downs. That's why you got to stick with your team all year long. That's why you got to stick with your team from start to finish, because you never know what could happen. I mean, look at 2015. This is a very parallel, again, just one plus month into the season, but this is a very parallel comparison when you look at 2015 and what happened with that team, up and down. Complete futility offensively at some points during the season from that team, looking like the Mets right now. The not being able to score, not being able to string together hits. Nobody expected the 2015 Mets to go on the run that they did. So again, anything can happen. It's baseball. You got to watch. You got to love the team no matter what. Twitter does their... I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. I'll edit this. Maybe. It's a false alarm. One of those sneezes that gets there and then doesn't finish itself out. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, Twitter has that. If you don't love me at my blah, you don't deserve me at my blah. Well, that's how I feel about baseball. I always have. And you got to be with your team no matter what. I mean, there have been some dark-ass times for this franchise over the last 10 years. And I've stuck with the team through it all. Am I happy about it? Hell no. I mean, God, would I like to have a scenario where it's a rebuild like the Yankees, where it takes them 3 weeks and they've turned in from a team filled with young kids who were quote, rebuilding, to being 1 game away from the World Series in the same season? Yeah, that'd be lovely if that would happen for the Mets, but it doesn't. It's not what being a Mets fan is. Being a Mets fan builds character. Suffering through 9 losing seasons to deal with 1 good one, that's what we do as Mets fans. So I'm just saying, don't panic. Hey, guess what? Speaking of not panicking, Jacob deGrom's on the DL. Yoenis Cespedes might not be too far behind him. But I'm still not panicking because it's early. And I'm trusting this new brain trust that the team has to make the right kinds of decisions regarding this team's health. That's what's bit them in the past. It seemed as though a lot of times players got to dictate how they were dealt with when they were nursing injuries. And it doesn't look as though that's going to be the case with Mickey Callaway and his regime. But we'll see. This is the test. You can say what you want in a pregame interview or postgame interview, or talking to reporters or whatever. It's when the rubber hits the road. When it's actually the situation, it demands action. We'll see what happens. And so far, again, I think Mickey's handled himself pretty well. He's not panicking about this team's performance right now. I know there's a lot of people that think he should be, but I'm not one of those people. Maybe I'm in the minority there, but look, I always say it. These guys are major league athletes. Do you think they want to lose? I mean, do you think they need to be yelled at that they're not performing well? They know they're not performing well. It's up to the skipper to figure out how to put them in the best positions to win. And I still believe this is a nearly 90-win team, if not more than 90-win team. But having that said, they're not going to get there until things start going right for them. And again, I believe that is going to happen. Now, DeGrom's not seriously going to miss a ton of time. He will miss one start, which is tonight in Cincinnati. He will be replaced to start tonight by the Irish-born P.J. Conlon. No one knows what to expect out of that, but Great American Ballpark isn't exactly the most pitcher-friendly environment to kick off your major league career. So good luck, PJ. PJ will be followed in the rotation by Jason Vargas and Zach Wheeler. And boy, I'm nervous about both of those guys in Cincinnati, because Cincinnati is a friggin' hitter's haven, and Vargas especially, as we know, has certainly not looked good to start the season. But I have confidence that he'll be fine. He just needs to sort of get a couple of starts under his belt. So this has been a lot. There's been a lot to talk about. It's been, again, a couple of days since I've been here. I've glanced over some of it. I'm not going to ramble about it much longer. My message today is don't panic. Or panic, I don't care. But you shouldn't. There's no reason to panic. The season's not ending in a week. We got time. The big start and the hot start the Mets got off to built a cushion for this sort of thing to happen. The only problem is it now can't happen again. So maybe Noah Syndergaard was right yesterday when he said they're saving the stinkers or getting the stinkers out of the way now so they can be dominant later. Maybe that is the case. I think it's nonsense, but whatever. Maybe it is the case. They're getting this losing streak out of the way. We've seen what the team is capable of doing when everything's going right. They're able to rattle off 11 wins in 12 games. No reason to suggest that they can't do it again. So chin up. Don't panic. Be proud to be a Mets fan. It builds character. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I will be back tomorrow to cover tonight's game in Cincinnati, where hopefully the Mets are able to right the ship and get back in the win column. Until then, thanks for watching. Much appreciated as always. Follow me on Twitter at Mr_Met. And proudly, let's go Mets.